Joe, the H+III+T to put that dang on time. What's popping with y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is popping with y'all? Yeah, listen, no like real crazy video here. I just needed to post an edited video because it's been a minute and I've been a lazy fuck. So I'm trying to step my shit up a little bit. Today we're talking about Steve Nash, as you can see by the title of the video. Nigga, you ain't slick. Nigga, we ain't forget. And nigga, we about to get on your motherfucking ass. Play the intro. Winning time. Come on, grab your friends. Distant lands. Find the God and sever the human and the fun never ends. It's winning time. I personally don't feel like I get enough credit for this year's intro. Like it's been one of my personal favorites. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna change it. I think we're gonna like keep the exact same one. I was thinking about like, you know, like maybe doing like a Steven Universe one, but I think I'm gonna leave it at this one until we win that championship, and then I'll change it. I don't know. I might be jinxing us a little bit. I don't know, but that's not here or there. Let's talk about some shenanigans right here. Steve Nash fucked up the entire season. I've laid off a man's for like 3 months and I haven't said a fucking word about him, but it's time to bring that type of energy back. You know, 2K's dropping next week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting back into the swing of things. The swing of things. We're getting back into the swing of things, and we need to remind everyone what type of energy and what type of time we're on going into this next season. This will be my 3rd season covering the Brooklyn Nets, which is nuts because it's only been like just barely, well, it's been like, damn, it's been well over a year. Damn, we should have did like an anniversary of this, but that's not even there. This is technically my 3rd season because I did the bubble that I did last season. So this would be season, damn, this is season number 3, all in the span of a year and a couple months. That says more about the NBA schedule than anything else. But this is my 3rd season now covering the Brooklyn Nets technically. And I just need everyone to hone in their energies, hone in exactly where it was that we were for the new people who have joined the board, because Google hates me and doesn't want to recommend me to people. So if you are new aboard this journey, I just want everyone to continue to glide with me on this journey here. Steve Nash, you ain't slick. Now, obviously, the James Harden injury in the first, like, the first play of Game 1 in the 2nd round against the Bucks, obviously that was huge. We talked about all season. I don't give a fuck who's out there, and y'all can try to act like I didn't say this the whole season, but you can go back and look. I made it perfectly clear. I don't give a fuck if Kyrie's hurt. I don't give a fuck if KD gets hurt. As long as James Harden's out there, we will be just fine. If James Harden gets hurt, we're fucked. And y'all sat there and said, no, but we got KD, we gonna be alright. We got KD, we gonna be alright. But it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You don't have to say sorry, that's fine. I'm used to this shit by now. James Harden is like the fucking like cheat code of this shit. And he is exactly what I thought Karis LeVert was going to turn into with a year playing next to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I thought he was going to turn into that James Harden-esque player, especially off of the performance he had in the fucking bubble. I just assumed that that's what I thought that was the plan, and I thought the situation would handle itself in that type of regard and such. The reason why I'm talking about all these other factors and not Steve Nash is because this nigga has had plenty of things to hide under, but those hiding days are over. Come out the fucking bed sheets, nigga. It's time. It's time to face the fucking music. We had the Joe Harris video. We roasted that nigga for a week. It's time to get back to where the fuck we were. Steve Nash, you had Blake Griffin, and you had Kevin Durant. You had Jeff Green. You had Bruce Brown. You had Landry Shamet, who you didn't fucking play. You left Joe Harris's ass out there. You had Landry Shamet. You had Tyler Johnson, which, come the fuck on. You had Tyler Johnson. You had Alize Johnson. You had TLC. Shut up. You had Reggie Perry. You had a gauntlet of bodies and a gauntlet of niggas to throw out there. You had fucking Claxton. You had fucking Claxton. We have no idea how he would have matched up against Giannis because the nigga didn't even get a chance to fucking play. You had options. But what did you do? What did you do for an entire playoff series? Because when James Harden went down, there goes our fucking point guard. And Kyrie had just come off of a very successful year, but an entire year of him doing his Kristaps Porzingis impression and I shoots the ball. He was just fucking shooting. He had been a shooting guard the whole fucking year. So asking that nigga to run the team after an entire year of just being a shooting guard, I feel like is not fair. But you know what you could have did? Even when James Harden came back, because he's our fucking coach. James Harden is the goddamn coach is what I'm hinting at if you're new here. James Harden is the goddamn coach. But you had all those options, and you had James, who was still hitting threes. It's not like James Harden wasn't doing shit those last couple games. That nigga was in the corner spraying threes. I think Game 7, he had like 21 or some random shit like that on one fucking leg. Nigga, you had options. But you ran ISO KD for the entire second round, and you just thought that shit was gonna work. Have James Harden bring the ball up court once he passes half court, dump the ball in the post to Kevin Durant, everyone get the fuck out the way. And if KD decides to pass, you better hit the open jumper. That was your plan. And never was it more obvious and apparent. Oh God, we could talk about the brain deadness of Steve Nash as a coach for hours and hours and hours, but I'm choosing to focus on the playoffs because I don't want to make this a 3-hour long video. This shit's already going to take forever to upload. I just want to get over to the point here. You decided that we would ISO KD our way to a championship. And I remember saying it in the days leading up to Game 7. I said it after Game 5. I said, wow, Kevin Durant is just the greatest scorer of all time. However, he's going to have to be literal Jesus Christ to get us out of this series. Because the only thing we do is ISO KD. And maybe in the regular season when them niggas is out there hustling and they're fighting and you got dudes like Mike James out there and niggas who can just hold shit together while our stars are hurt. I mean, like, we tend to forget that we were ass before the James Harden trade. Let's not act like we were a borderline 500 team until we got James Harden, and James by his goddamn self carried us to the 2nd seed. But the second that motherfucker goes down, and it's basically just KD out there by himself, it became very clear, oh, we are not only getting outplayed by an entire other team, but we're getting outcoached by Budenholzer, which is a disgusting... That's a disgusting sentence to say, but we were getting outcoached at the exact same goddamn time. Because one dude is saying, okay, they're trapping Giannis. Let's try to get someone else involved. Do the little pick and roll bullshit. Do a little box out. But I don't know the names of plays. All that bullshit that coaches be doing and shit like that. Trying to get other people involved, trying to get open lanes for Drew Holiday to go like one for 45 from the 3-point line and get his layups off every now and again, get a fucking switch on poor Joe Harris. Making sure that the mid-range was all the way the fat fuck open for Chris Middleton to get his shit off. The drive and kick to Brook Lopez over and over again. That's what coaches do. They get niggas open. And with James Harden unable to literally facilitate the offense the way he would normally see fit, it's up to our literal coach to get people open. I will say this until the end of time. You had Blake Griffin out there and you didn't do shit with him. There's just no excuse. I keep hearing this narrative of it was just Kevin Durant. That's not fucking true. You had Blake Griffin. You had Jeff Green. You had Claxton. You had cutting ass, small forward / center ass, backdoor cut, moving ass Bruce Brown. You had options. Nigga, you didn't put Landry Shamet in the game. We didn't do that shit. You left Joe Harris out there. So while it turned into KD, please save us, It didn't have to be that way. And it's clear that going forward, that's not going to be addressed. He might have some help on the bench, but the coaching has not been addressed. And while I do believe that James Harden on his own is capable of being a player coach and leading us to the promised land as long as he does not get hurt again, while I believe that's possible, and while I believe we have more than enough talent, and while I believe that every single player on the roster is pissed the fuck off, and we are going to run rampant on the Hulkamania will run wild, I'm sure. Worst case scenario, if all these niggas get hurt again, and we're in the exact same position, and coaching has not been addressed, and it's still just Kevin Durant and a bunch of really fucking good players around him, and Steve Nash, we're looking at the exact same scenario yet again. Because yeah, sure, we done added a Patty Mills, but if the nigga don't play, what does it fucking matter? Why the fuck would you play James Harden 40 plus minutes when the nigga is on one leg in a closeout game? Steve Nash made that decision. Maybe KD wouldn't have been so fucking exhausted if he didn't play every literal minute of the game back to back. That nigga played all of game 5. That nigga played all of game 6. That nigga played all of game 7. He didn't fucking sit. And while it was an amazing Herculean effort, and shout out to Kevin Durant for being so incredible, you're the fucking coach. The nigga wouldn't have airballed the shit in overtime if he wasn't so fucking tired. I have not forgiven Steve Nash, as you can see. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'm normally very positive here nowadays. I don't really get into my toxic, angry bag like that. I'm not really that SeverTheBond anymore. But I just need everyone... I needed a point of reference. So when we get into the season and Steve Nash is on that bullshit again, I'm not saying it's going to alter our title chances. I just want everyone to be aware of the handicaps we have going into the season. I'm already prepared to mark off we don't have a real center. I'm already prepared to write that one off on the expense report. But right under that is not having a fucking coach. It's right the fat fuck under it. Don't have a fucking coach. Because that nigga don't know what the fuck he's doing. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you motherfuckers later. And hopefully, maybe some more news drops about, you know, which one of these three niggas we're going with. Is it DeAndre Jordan? Is it Kevin Love? Or is it LaMarcus Aldridge? Or this random white dude from the Cavs? Not Kevin Love, the other random white dude. Hopefully I have news for that sometime soon. I'll see you motherfuckers later. It's still fuck Steve Nash 2021. Ain't shit changed.